Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys Jerry Jones makes bold $180 million promise on defense. There's no question that, in just a short time together, the refurbished Cowboys defensive front of Quinnen Williams, Osa Odighizuwa and Kenny Clark has made a massive difference in the outlook for this team. The Cowboys have won 3 straight since acquiring Williams in a trade deadline deal with the Jets, and the defense has gone from allowing 30.8 points and 397.4 yards per game before the streak to 21.7 points and 312.3 yards in those 3 wins. The problem for the Cowboys, though, is that the remaining salaries owed to the newly formed defensive front are prohibitively expensive. According to Spotrac, in all, the trio is owed $180 million into 2028, only Odighizuwa is signed then, including a hefty $84 million next season. The Cowboys can reconfigure and convert some of those payments, but the speculation around the team has been that, after this season, they're likely to chop off one of those players, with Clark being the most likely. That's the conventional wisdom. But owner Jerry Jones, at the very least, is not conventional. Speaking on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas on Tuesday, Jones insisted that the team can and will keep Williams, Clark and Odighizuwa on board with the Cowboys, even if it's pricey. Said Jones, "When you line those 3 up in there, and you've got them either in rotation or you've got them in there together, you really create a dominant feature to our football team." The combination of all of them, someone asked, "You're not going to be able to keep them, all 3. That's not right. We can, and we can build from that." Jones has been very encouraged by how the 3 have meshed. Clark brings heft, Odighizuwa brings surprising agility, and Williams brings a combination. If you look at those guys, Osa could play further out if we wanted him to play further out. His unique position is his quickness inside, and it complements what Williams brings and it complements what Kenny Clark brings, Jones said. Those players have tremendous football character. We knew that when we extended Osa last year. But we knew we wanted him around for a long time. Cowboys would have to cut corners at other spots. The idea, Jones said, is that the team can use the trio as the heart of their defense, and their ability to slow the run and keep pressure on the line will allow players on the perimeter and the linebackers to thrive. Presumably, the Cowboys could cut corners on paying pass rushers if the interior is dominant. They just bring opportunity to the other parts of the team. That combination in there, if you look at the Dallas Cowboys today, it wasn't here when we started the season. When you bring it in there today, it's very unique, Jones said. We really have strengthened our front over the last couple of years, Jones said. We really look different on the front. We're bigger on the front on offense. We're bigger on the front on defense. That was very deliberate. One of the things that I saw, when we get in these playoffs, they run over us. We needed to get bigger up front. Start with that right there. That's where we started with that trade with Micah to start the year. Cowboys at Lions, 3 bold predictions for Thursday's matchup. It's not often a regular season matchup carries as much weight as Thursday's contest between the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions will. This is truly a loser leaves town game, as the losing team's playoff hopes will go down the drain. Before the 2 teams square off in this pivotal matchup, here are 3 bold predictions for the game. 1. CeeDee Lamb feasts on a depleted Lions secondary, recording a season-high 120 receiving yards. The secondary has been an issue for the Detroit Lions all season long. Injuries and poor performance by some of the players on their back end have caused opposing receivers to have some pretty productive days when facing the Lions secondary. 2 weeks ago, the Lions allowed Giants wideout Wan'Dale Robinson to go for 9 catches with 156 yards and a touchdown. Last week on Thanksgiving Day, they allowed Packers wideout Dontavian Wicks to catch 6 passes for a game-high 94 receiving yards to go with 2 touchdowns. To make matters worse for Detroit's struggling secondary, they will likely be without both Terry and Arnold, placed on IR this week, and Kirby Joseph, not expected to play, in this week's matchup against Dallas superstar wide receiver duo. Last Thursday against the Chiefs, All-Pro CeeDee Lamb bounced back in a big way, assuming the role of Dallas' top offensive threat. Lamb recorded a game-high 112 receiving yards to go with a touchdown. Lamb has a chance to feast again on Thursday night against Detroit's depleted secondary. The 26-year-old wideout will do just that, recording a season-high 120 receiving yards, once again leading Dallas' offensive attack. 2. Cowboys' defense gets consistent pressure on Jared Goff, recording an impressive 5 sacks. Last week against the Packers, the Lions' offensive line struggled to slow down their talented pass rush. Green Bay recorded 15 total pressures, 7 QB hurries, and 4 sacks, 3 coming from former Cowboy Micah Parsons. The Lions' offensive line has struggled at times this season in pass protection, and the unit ranks 23rd in the NFL in pass blocking grade, via Pro Football Focus. This main weak point on Detroit's line has been their play on the interior, and this week that unit will be tested big time by Dallas' talented defensive tackle trio. Kenny Clark, Osawaru Odigizwa, and Quinnen Williams should be able to generate some consistent push against the interior of the Lions' offensive line, creating an opportunity for the Cowboys to register multiple sacks. Led by the interior push from the talented trio, Dallas puts consistent pressure on Jared Goff, recording an impressive 5 sacks. 3. Cowboys get revenge for last year's beatdown, recording a blowout victory. Revenge is a dish best served cold. That thought will be on the mind of the Cowboys this week, as they look to get some payback for last season's 47-9 thumping the Lions dropped on them back in mid-October. These two teams look a whole lot different now than they did when they faced off over a year ago, and that will show in a big way on Thursday. Dallas' new-look defense continues to impress, getting pressure on Jared Goff and forcing the Lions into negative plays. Their offense, led for the second week by CeeDee Lamb, does not miss a beat, dropping 34 points on the depleted Lions defense. The Cowboys keep on rolling, winning their 4th straight game in style. Give your like, tell us the opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel.